to the center circle. Hits Lori. Mitten now. Escapes a stick check. Up top, Pasternak. Shoots. Like it in the save. They score! The Vancouver Kid! He's got 2 tonight, and he's got the game winner in overtime over his hometown team. Your final, Bruins 3, Canucks 2.
Have a night, Fraser Minten. There he is. Looking to do more damage tonight in Seattle. So is the guy behind him, Morgan Geekie.
He's got his hoodie on.
He's got his hoodie on. He was
See? Look at that.
Oh,
David, well done.
Wow.
Man, oh man.
I don't know if I could pull that. I could maybe.
No, I know you couldn't pull it off. There's no chance you could pull it off.
Can we get a rewind on that again?
We got to show that again later in the show.
DNA, Flamingo.
Whoa.
What a superstar.
That is 88, right?
That's a superstar. That's a superstar.
Exactly what that is. Pre-Game Hub.
What was the hat?
I don't know what the hat is.
Is that a virus?
Coop got the hat.
Yeah, it looks like DNA. Adam Peller and Billy Jaffe, Andrew Raycroft. You never will know what you're going to get here.
I missed the hoodies.
Yeah, the hoodies were comfortable. We wore those on Saturday night, late game, weekend. I think we got to clean it up a little bit tonight, and dress up.
A full pregame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. It's a good point.
Thing.
Yeah.
We're all business tonight.
Oh, yeah.
All business, obviously.
Once again, in case you didn't hear me, Bruins Pre-Game Hub is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Bruins with 2 straight wins, points in 3 straight, and coming off a great win over the Vancouver Canucks, in which Fraser Minten, the hometown kid, scored a pair of goals. One on the power play, and then the overtime game winner.
He earned it. He's just cliche 101, Razor. He's doing the right thing. He's playing the right way. And you do that and you get rewarded. We've talked at length, both here on this set and on Morning Brew, about how we continue to see very incremental development, right? But when you put all the increments together, if that's proper English, you get big step. And we have seen a big step forward. That power play goal to me was really indicative. This we've seen before, that type of goal, but the power play goal to me shows a confidence level that we hadn't seen.
Agreed. And the power play goal, we haven't seen him get that bumper shot off, the way he shot it. We talked about it after the first period, about how he's worried. Like that shot is better than what it was in September. And then to your point on stacking games, you don't get in an opportunity like this to put this goal in overtime, to play over 20 minutes as a 21-year-old center in the National Hockey League if you're not doing everything correctly, especially with a coach like Marco Sturm, who is all about the details, on a team that's trying to focus on details, and Fraser Minten's getting those opportunities.
Great night for the Bruins, great night for Fraser Minten. You spoke with Sophia after the win in Vancouver.
Definitely unbelievable moment. Probably one of the coolest days of my life.
Ask you a question about your friends and family before we send you off. You'll have enough time to see them. When they're in the stands, are you aware at all? I know you're really focused, you're a pro on the game, but are you aware of them at all?
No, I try not to be, but it's hard on a day like today. I tell them, don't tell me where you're sitting so I don't end up looking, but definitely first thought was them after that.
I'll tell you what, he wanted to get through that media scrum post-game so he could see his family. He was trying to get through that as quickly as possible after the interview with Sophia, as we take a look at the expected defensive pairs tonight.
Well, the reason we're showing you this after Minten is because there's a big change. Without Hampus Lindholm there, now we're seeing a bigger change in the pairs. So no longer Zadorov and McAvoy, although I do have a hunch we'll see them together at times. So Aspero with McAvoy. Zadorov gets Henry Jokiharju, who comes back in the lineup after a long absence. And then Lowry gets Andrew Peak.
Henry Jokiharju back in the lineup for the first time since November 28th. He's missed the last 15 games with injury.
It's been a long time. It adds up in this condensed schedule. When you miss 4 weeks, it's an automatic quarter of the season or fifth of the season. And for Henry Jokiharju, who got added to the Finnish Olympic team this week, it's a big bonus for him to get back into the lineup. And I guess we've talked about it all year, 1 in, 1 out. I guess that's the good news that he is able to get back in tonight.
Yeah, you saw the hit where we think he got the injury. They never announced it officially, but he got cross-checked. In that Ranger game, which, by the way, the Bruins, they lose 6-2?
Yeah,
they got smoked.
No David Pastrnak, no Pavelzak.
Right. Now, he played 20-51 in that game, which was his season high for the Bruins. And so hopefully he can come right back in. And I don't know if you need him to play 21 minutes, but at least you need 18. You need 18, if not upwards to 20.
You mentioned 1 in, 1 out. And out is Hampus Lindholm, which is, again, a surprise based on, last game. He played the entire game right up until the end, over 22 minutes of ice time. Offensively coming on, 9 shots on goal last couple games, goal and 2 assists.
Yeah, and Bill, you just talked about the 18 minutes that Henry Jokiharju is going to have to play. Hampus has only played under 20 minutes twice all season long. He's a minute muncher. That's what he is. He had 3 points in his last 2 games, 2 and 6 without Hampus in the lineup this season. So we saw it last year. It's a big shoes, the big skates to fill when Hampus is not in the lineup.
Yeah, no question about it. It's funny, you mentioned his offensive game has been good. Feel like there's been at times a little defensively in his own zone where it hasn't been as fluid. I don't know if that is a result of what is potentially an injury for him right now. Something happened, whether he blocked a shot, whether he took a hit, a cross-check or something that we didn't notice. We don't know, but they need to get him back into town. They need to do testing on him to see how long it's going to be.
Yeah, let's continue the conversation now and go out to Seattle with Sofia Jurstevich is standing by. She joins us live and has more on the injury to Hampus Lindholm. Hi, Sofia.
Hey guys, I have good news and bad news. The good news is I'm coming home and I'm sure you guys missed me. The bad news is I don't have any presents for you guys. Just kidding. The good news, as you already said, is that Henri Jokiharju is back and Hampus Lindholm is out. So we want to continue that conversation. 22-47 is what he played in the game against Vancouver. He added an assist. We just talked to Marco Sturm earlier before this game. So he got injured in that game and they knew about it, but he was able to finish that game. It was one of those injuries that he was able to play through in the moment and finish that game. But now, since sustaining it, he's out. Marco Sturm also talked yesterday at practice here at Climate Pledge with some updates on what the timeline is going to be for Hampus. Let's have a listen.
It's not going to be a day-to-day thing. I think it's hopefully not too long, but he's definitely going to be out for a little bit. We'll have to decide then. Or he has to do more testing when we're back in Boston, so we can go for that.
Has he gone home?
No. We just had our first appointment yesterday, and we're gonna wait till we get back because there's nothing we can do right now, actually, and then let our doctors decide what's the next steps.
All right, guys, they are all of a sudden playing ABBA as loud as they can in this arena. So I hope if you say anything, I might not be able to hear you. But what Marco Sturm just said, repeating what Billy said, they want the Boston Bruins doctors to test him, so then they're going to have a better assessment. They trust their doctors most, obviously, a better assessment as to what his timeline is going to be. But just earlier today in the scrum before the game, he was asked if it was going to be day-to-day or week-to-week because he was able to play through it in Vancouver. And he said, I don't know, and he doesn't want to give an answer that he's not sure about, but it's somewhere in between then. So not quite day to day, not quite week to week. We'll just really have to get our solid answers when they're back in Boston, which is obviously going to be later this week. As for Henri Jokiharju, who slots back in, he knows it's going to take him a couple days to get his timing back, but he's excited to get him back in the lineup. Henry said it was obviously hard to be sitting out, to be watching from the rafters. All the players say that, but being on this road trip around the guys, yes, it was a very long one. That was very helpful him to get back in a game mode and just kind of stay in the chemistry and the vibe with the team. All right, back to you.
All right, good information, Sophia.
Dancing
Appreciate
queen.
your time.
The reporting queen.
Yes, the reporting queen,
Yes.
the dancing queen. That's right. There you go. Excellent. We're going to cut that.
I don't know if
put
you
in
can
the
hear it,
promo.
but
I know
it's
we
loud.
are. That's
Okay.
exactly what's going to happen.
That's gold, right?
Yep, there it is. Perfect. All right, Sophia, thanks. Good stuff. Appreciate it. We'll see you a little bit later on. Keep dancing. So mentioned, 1 in, 1 out. Well, you get a forward back in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, happily. Tanner Jeannot comes back in, and so he's going to flank Sean Corelli and Mark Castle like Razor. Again, we talked about it on the last episode, pregame show, that we thought that this would be the group that gets back together because of the success of Hustadinov and Pasternak flanking Minton. You got to keep that line together. You know Zaka's line going to stay together. So that's the line. You got Elias Lindholm still remains up top with Steves and Geeky.
Yeah, we haven't seen Tanner Jeannot since December 23rd against Montreal Canadiens. Haven't seen him post-holiday. And you're sort of wondering, it's like, all right, well, he played the whole game against Canadians, but he got in a scrap, right? Mm-hmm. That's what he does. So who knows what the injury was. Good news, he's just back in the line.
And he's so important for this group. And whether he's been on the third line with Fraser Minton and Mark Kaslik, or on this fourth line over the last month more so with Corrali centering those two big wingers, just his ability to change momentum with his physicality, get in the mix, kill penalties, and be a big character guy for this group.
It's a good fourth line, identity line.
It is.
And they're going against, listen, we haven't talked Seattle yet, we will, but their fourth line has been really good. It's been a catalyst for them these last 8 games where they're 7-0-1. So you get the big boys of the Bruins, perhaps going out there against some of the big boys against Seattle as well.
Yeah, we'll take a closer look at Seattle coming up later in the show.